Welcome to Talking Experience Analytics with a decent beer in a shed. And the beer today is Harmonics from the awesome Track Brewing up in Manchester. And the glass, that's from the superlative Treehouse. This particular branch of Treehouse was in Sarasota or Saratoga Springs, one of those two, in upstate New York. Vibrating. There is no magic bullet. Sam Walton said a really interesting thing. He said many interesting things, but among them, when he was talking about competitors, when he was talking about coming into a town and the mom and pop stores on Main Street kind of struggling to do something about his arrival, he would say that there are other things that you can do that we can't. And your job is to work out what those things are, get really good at them, and get really good at telling people that you do them. It was about differentiation, but he understood that despite the kind of megalithic dominance of a store like Walmart, he wasn't able to take every dollar in a town, despite it sometimes feeling that way to the existing traders and shopkeepers in that space. And he was right. Over time, we've seen that speciality stores that can pick off things that a big box can't do flourish. Independents are now again flourishing in those towns where they were devastated many years ago when Walmart first arrived. And we're in interesting times right now where clearly grocery is a tough market to be in. You know, market share overall is being eroded. There's some success stories. Publix is a success story. Aldi continues to grow, and Walmart is still, chugging along. But there are signs that even the Walmarts and the Costcos have choppy waters ahead. People are worried. They're worried about money. They're worried about affordability. We know that. And I was talking to a grocery exec just the other day, somebody who I have a huge amount of respect for, who is really close to one of these challenging situations right now. And to be frank, the business that they are in is losing market share and is not growing their comps as well as they need to. And what was striking about their view of the world was they were almost convincing themselves that there was a magic bullet that just needed to be uncovered with data. There was something that would transform their offer so that customers would come flooding back their way. And the truth of it is, even in good times, there is almost never a magic bullet. You can count the magic bullets, the real innovations in retail, literally on the fingers of one hand. There have only been 4. The first of those was 2,000 years ago when a guy called Lo Cass first worked out that he could pay people to sell his produce at another marketplace in another town. Before that, it was always done with relatives, and relatives, your brother or your nephew, you can kind of trust. Well, when Lo Cass essentially invented multiple retailing, he also invented systems of audit, consistency of supply. He even started to do consistent price marking, or consistent pricing, that we mark the prices. Well, that's the birth of multiple retailing. And then nothing really happens until kind of 15th, 16th century and printing, when craftspeople discover that actually you can do this really interesting thing. If I'm the craftsperson who makes chairs, I'm Mr. Chippendale right now. I don't know whether those times overlap, but if I'm the guy who makes chairs, I can now illustrate the 4 styles of chair that I make on a piece of paper, printed, and that printed paper can be taken to the mansion, the big house, where the lady of the house at the time, so old-fashioned, would look at this catalogue, simple catalogue, bill, and decide which of the 4 styles is the one that she really liked. That was the birth of remote retailing, and that turns into catalogues. The Sears and Roebuck catalogue turns into that really weird short period of telephone retail, and it turns into the internet, e-commerce. And I'm going to be controversial here. E-commerce is just selling to somebody who is not in the same room as you. That's it. It's the same as the catalogue. It's the same as the telephone. Just we have much more sophistication around the tools that we can deploy around that remote relationship. But it is still selling to somebody who is not in the same room as you. And then really the last time there was another innovation was the time that the Bossicos in Paris, it's not the last time, the last but one, towards the end of the 19th century, combined departments. So created in one space a store that sold linens, but that also sold other things related, clothing, housewares, and they brought those things together. There's a couple of UK department stores that also make a good case of being the first, but really the Bossicos in Paris invented the department store as we know it. And within a couple of years, Gustave Eiffel builds them an extraordinary palace of retail to trade out of. The last time, that was 1918, I think it was, when the Piggly Wiggly patented self-serve grocery retail. And there's a picture in the US Patent Office of that patent application that shows their picture to describe it. And it's extraordinary. It is a modern supermarket. You get a basket, you go through a W-shaped set of aisles, you come to an end where you unload your basket and somebody rings up your purchases and bags them for you and sends you on your way. Well, this is liberating. Because actually, if you don't have to be the fifth person in human history to find a magic bullet, to find a genuine real innovation, it tells you something about what you should be looking for in the data. And what you should be looking for is marginal opportunities to gain and, on the other hand, operational consistency. Operational consistency will always put more dollars in the till overall than anything else you can do with the business. Operational efficiency is what ensures that you're not leaving any dollars on the table in any marketplace. But it's really hard to achieve. You know, I'm a retailer, I've been an operator. Maintaining and achieving operational efficiency is really, really difficult. Well, that's where really great data can help. The data that describes the operational environment in store in a way that you can action. And that's really what the best of us are providing this marketplace, is exactly that. But at the same time, great data will also describe your relationship to your competitors in a way that enables you to compare yourself with what they're doing that's attractive and important for customers, and give you an opportunity to change how you perform against them. And you do enough of those things, and you combine those things, as Sam Walton said, into an offer that you can talk about and communicate, then those things start to become important and valued by customers, who begin to bring more of their spend to you more often, and they'll spend more each visit. And one example of that is creating an environment in which a customer will swap out 1 or 2 items a trip for a premium alternative. And this is interesting, instead, when times are difficult, low cost premium is way more attractive. It's called the lipstick effect amongst behavioural economists, which is that idea that somebody might not renew their car, they might not go on holiday this year, but they'll buy an expensive lipstick that they might not have done previously, because overall they're saving money, but there's still the opportunity to treat yourself. Well, in the grocery environment, that step up is worth about $1.88 per basket. So, you know, that might make you closer to a $40 basket than a $37 basket or a $38 basket. But also, that one step up is not just worth that additional $1.88 revenue. Premium product often has a higher margin than the rest of the basket. So understanding the environment in which you're helping customers step up to premium is something that gives you an opportunity to find a difference, to do something about it, particularly if you can see amongst your peers and competitors who is doing that really well. So the truth of it, and this is what I had to say to that executive the other day, is there is unlikely to be a magic bullet that you suddenly stumble across. But if the data is good and accurate and great, that data, and Experience Analytics is perfect for this, that data will give you what you need to know to be able to find lots of those opportunities to create advantage that together can be packaged as a refreshed offer and a way of communicating to customers that you do X, Y, Z better than anybody else. So cheers. Go do it.